What's going on, fam? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another special edition. Tonight, we're going live with the breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. If you saw from the video, the picture I just put up, the link, it has been announced that Sean P. Diddy Combs, the hip hop mogul, has been indicted and arrested out in New York, his home state. In New York, ladies and gentlemen, it's been announced that the Southern District of New York, which I believe is run by Damian Williams. He's the same attorney has been brought to my attention from. Uh, it's been brought to my attention. I believe he's the same attorney that prosecuted Donald Trump. But he announced that there was an indictment. It was came forward actually from both Sean. He posted a statement on social media late Monday saying we expect to move to unseal the indictment in the morning, and we'll have more to say at that time. This is the report you could read right here from the New York Times. So the charges have not been announced yet. However, through Sean P. Diddy Combs' legal team, his lawyer is Marc Agnifilio. He said that Combs was arrested by officers with Homeland Security investigations at about 8:30 p.m. At the hotel where he was staying, which is the Park Hyatt, New York, on 57th Street. It is expected he will be held overnight and arraigned on Tuesday. So I'm assuming Tuesday morning. The arrest of Mr. Combs, 54, makes him the highest profile figure in the music world to face criminal charges for sexual misconduct since R. Kelly, the R&B singer who, after trials in New York and Chicago, was sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for child sex crimes, sex trafficking, and racketeering. Now, I got to report say something. First off, a couple of things. We don't know exactly what the indictment will say or what he has been charged with. So he hasn't been charged. He has, while he has been indicted, we don't know what those charges are. If it involves sex trafficking, if it involved, if it involves sex trafficking of any kind, if it involved racketeering. His own attorneys believes that that was he's been charged with, but of course, I've even heard reports of it dealing with the Mann Act in RICO, according to my brother Dennis Byron, who's been on this channel before. Now, of course, most of us know who P. Diddy is. He is a very big hip hop mogul, was a pop culture icon, especially in the 90s and the early 2000s, up until I want to say recently when a video was leaked from 2016 that showed P. Diddy assaulting his then girlfriend, Casey Ventura, aka Cassie, who's a singer, at a Los Angeles hotel. Now, he was never charged criminally with that, uh, and obviously something like that would be a state charge. Now, we know that Diddy has been in trouble with the law before. He was accused of shooting. There were accusations of violence for decades. Of course, that is true. 2001, he had a gun and bribery charge that he was facing in a nightclub shooting. I remember that. And Johnny Cochran was his attorney. At that time, he was called Puff Daddy, but then he changed his name and his persona. He wanted people to call him Love. He even named his daughter Love, his new daughter, and he actually also changed his name again to Diddy. He kept changing it. It was Diddy, Puffy, Daddy, Puff Daddy, and then it became Diddy. But uh, now there's the new lawsuits that has come out where he's been accused of sexual misconduct. There's been a lot. He's denied the allegations, but the public, of course, the public. Uh, Especially when that video with Cassie came out where he was seen kicking and stomping on Cassie, and he's admitted he did it. That, of course, changed public persona for Diddy. Diddy became persona non grata. And I think, here's my take on it. How and who had those videos leaked? My whole thing is, I think, if you want my honest opinion, Diddy pissed off the wrong people. Now, I know my friend Queen Amadaya Shakur is going to have a field day. She's probably going to be calling me tomorrow, telling me, I told you so. I told you it was coming because she had stated beforehand she had been hearing that Diddy was going to be brought down. and she was here for it. She doesn't like P Diddy for reasons. She claimed he had something. I'm not gonna. She her claim and explanation. She doesn't like Diddy because she thinks that he was involved with Pac's murder, and I don't know that for certain. It could be true. And she thinks he's involved in a lot of sneaky, nefarious deals. But I want to talk about this though. He has been involved, of course. I know, and they mentioned this in the New York Times. I'm looking at this. He sold his stake in Revolt. We know he sold Revolt News, which I don't even watch, and that's another story. He also sold his share in De Leon Tequila, a partnership with the spirits conglomerate Diageo. Diego, excuse me. I'm tripping tonight. I'm sorry. Diego, a New York charter school network ended its partnership with him. Yes, uh, especially after those lawsuits were filed, a lot of stuff was falling apart. Remember, he was actually having issues with Diego over his tequila around this time, a little bit before all of the suits were being filed. So some people have picked up and thought that maybe this is something that is in response to it. Now, that video that leaked with Cassie didn't do him no favors and help with it. At the same time, however, let's just deal with this from a legal perspective here for a second, guys. You're talking about his lawyer is talking about racketeering and sex trafficking. Now, RICO statutes, if I've explained before, RICO was designed to go after mafia guys. That was the purpose of the RICO. RICO went after guys like uh, John Gotti and John Gotti and Vincent the Chin Gigante and Carlos Gambino and a bunch of other guys, Russell Buffalino and all of those guys. That was the purpose of RICO. And now we're seeing it, especially the feds, they have been applying it to celebrities because, of course, we know R. Kelly got caught. I think it was the same district. It was out in New York. It was in Chicago. He also got charged out in Chicago. And I think he had something else in Minnesota with these charges, these racketeering charges. Now, whether you like P. Diddy, whether you like R. Kelly or not, is one thing. Yes, they don't have to be good guys. I represent a lot of clients, I'm being real, who are assholes. That does not mean, in my opinion, in my legal expertise, that because someone is a bad person, that they actually violated this law. And in particular, do I equate, let's be real honest with y'all, put this in the chat. I want everybody to ask, I'm going to ask everybody a question. Do you honestly think that R. Kelly is on the same caliber of Al Capone or John Gotti? Give me a yes or no. Do you think he should have been charged like that? It's yes or no. Now, y'all can put it in the chat. Shout out to my family on X. We got 39 people on X. We probably got even more. There are two on the G Boot page and also on the Gavin Richard page. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All my Twitter fans, I keep saying Twitter, my X family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, do y'all equate Sean P. Diddy Combs with that? I don't. Now that's not to say that I like the man personally or that I think the guy he's a good guy. I don't, but I don't know him. And yeah, what he I saw in that video, I didn't like it. It was a real punk move that he did where he beat up on that girl. Personally, he should have gotten his ass whipped. That's my opinion on it. But if they're trying to say and look, I don't know what the evidence is that they may have on this, not whether it's sex trafficking or not, but I certainly don't equate. I can put it this way: I don't equate R. Kelly with John Gotti. I don't think it should have been a RICO. They had a Mann Act on him as well, which, if we all know history, the Mann Act that was enacted during the early 1900s, that was done to go after Jack Johnson. It was about women taking men taking women across state lines for nefarious and immoral purposes just means you taking your, which sounds like me taking my girl out on a trip to Florida or Texas somewhere and getting our freak on. That's essentially what it is. Now, they did scale back on that law, but the fact is, it's still a law. They've made amendments to it, but it's still there. And so it is a way you can go after and get somebody. I don't equate I didn't equate R. Kelly with that necessarily. I don't even think in Diddy necessarily is that. But I do think that Diddy has some problems. And keep in mind when the feds get you, when feds indict you, it's for one of two reasons. Number one, they actually got evidence, or two, you're a political prisoner. Feds don't waste their time on getting they don't waste energy and resources, even though, and they got the money, they got unlimited resources to go after somebody. If it's not their time, they don't go after you unless they got you. And I don't equate Diddy with the Black Panther movement. He's not a political prisoner. Now, the third and obvious option might be, if it is, when I say, now, I said politically motivated, meaning like what they did with the Black Panthers, where they didn't have evidence against them. They just wanted to go after them because they were black. They wanted to go after them to set an example. They had issues with militant groups and so forth, people that were standing up for their rights. That's what I mean by political. I do think that Diddy, obviously, Diddy's not political, like talking about it, like in the realm of the Black Panthers or even Dr. King. I wouldn't even equate that. But I digress. But also, if it may be, and I'm trying to think, if it could be propaganda related with propaganda, this thing that they're pushing with Me Too, Diddy is falling under that. What's going on, La Shalana? What's going on, La Shan? You're still emotional over yeah, about Tito? Yeah. I everybody has been emotional about it. People have been tweeting about brother Tito Jackson and his passing yesterday. And I think they confirmed that he did pass away. It was a heart attack that killed him while he was driving from New Mexico to Oklahoma, I guess, for a gig. So uh, I don't know if anybody was with him that night, but people have been pouring tributes all over. They had people showing up to the old Jackson home uh, at 2300 Jackson Street, where they were actually laying flowers. People actually put padlocks on saying, rest in peace to our brother Tito Jackson. Uh, and mostly everything I've heard about Tito Jackson's been nothing but positive. So, yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Now, yeah, he's gonna be he's gonna be well missed, man. That's hard. And my heart again goes out to his grandkids and his three boys. Taj, Terrio, and Taryn. 3T. Yeah. Yeah, my heart goes out to the Jacksons. Just yeah, Tito's just a yeah, he was a good guy, man. But look, y'all know, let's get back to this. How many of you all know earlier last week. Last week, Diddy actually Diddy's been indicted. Lala Sean. He's been indicted on. We don't know yet, although his attorney Marc Angelifo has stated that it was sex trafficking and racketeering charges. But did y'all know that Diddy lost a $100 million lawsuit? Diddy lost a $100 million lawsuit on last week. This was out in, I think this was out in Michigan. So he got slammed with $100 million default judgment because when you have a default judgment against you, it means that you failed to answer timely to the allegations. That's what a default when a default judgment comes in. When you've been served properly through an attorney and the court looks at the record, and then on top of that, you get you fail to answer to that petitioner's allegations of fact. The petitioner can then declare a default judgment because they can say, "Hey, you were served. He gave no answers," and you get, they will award that to you. So he had been ordered to pay $100 million in an assault in an assault case.
New at 5, the legal troubles continue for Sean Diddy Combs tonight after a judge ordered the music mogul to pay $100 million to a Michigan man who says that he was sexually assaulted by Combs in '97.
According to court documents, Derek Cardello Smith says Combs drugged and then assaulted him during an after party at a Holiday Inn in Detroit. But Combs never responded to the lawsuit in court. On Monday, the judge ordered him to pay $10 million each month starting in October. The victim is currently behind bars serving a 75-year prison sentence for criminal.
Nah, wait. Nigga, what? You mean they gave him $100 million lawsuit and this Negro is in jail? Are y'all crazy? How he found this shit? They paying money for him to get out of jail? Nigga, what? What? I gotta do my Steve Harvey. What your ass say? What? I'm gonna tell you right now. Me and Marjorie, y'all sue me for $100 million, dog. Marjorie gonna fight your ass. You trying to sue and your ass locked up doing life? What? How you gonna spend that on cigarettes, bread and water? He got sued. He didn't answer this lawsuit. No wonder why he didn't. He didn't take this shit seriously.
Starting in October. The victim is currently behind bars serving a 75-year prison sentence for criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping.
What? You got $75 million lawsuit. This guy, 75. This guy's doing 75 years in prison on sexual misconduct, and he's suing Diddy for $100 million. The judges award him to pay $10 million, and the guy's in jail. Who writes? Who? That's why he didn't do this. Why I can't take this stuff seriously. To an inmate. Let's see if I got the picture of the inmate here. Hold on. No wonder guys, you gotta, when you get sued, you gotta send some type of response in something like this, because this life, Diddy, this is life shaking. I honestly think now he filed a motion to vacate the judgment to the Michigan inmate, but they're trying to bankrupt him. They definitely trying to bankrupt. Let's see if we can get. I got his picture up. Hold on. They don't list the guy. The guy's name is Derek Cardello Smith. This man is doing. This is the guy. It's the guy suing Diddy. This the guy that got $100 million from Diddy. It's like a broke ass. That's a broke ass Doc Rivers. It's not on Blake. It's on Diddy. Cheap Doc Rivers suing him. Hey, inmate Doc Rivers. Ain't that a bit? Oh my God. This happened in 1997. Now, Diddy, they say, according to the reports, he filed an emergency motion claiming he was never served. Now, that might be a good point because you have to also serve a person if you're suing them. You have to show proof that they received, is basically a proof of notice, but that they were actually served with the lawsuit. And he filed an emergency motion claiming he never was served. He also says the statute of limitations expired 17 years before he filed this lawsuit. So this happened in 1997, and we're in 2024. So he waited for 27 years, a lawsuit was never filed. And Derek Lee Cardello Smith, yeah, he's in jail on rape charges. So he's ready to push back against this verdict. This man, Cardello Smith, is a convicted felon and sexual predator who has been sentenced on 14 counts of sexual assault and kidnapping over the last 26 years. His resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment swiftly dismissed. Who? That's the dude, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. They y'all think Diddy plugged him up? I'm trying to be careful. I don't know. This is ridiculous. I even think it's ridiculous. But that's what we're dealing with. This is a fact. He's been indicted. So getting back to this, yeah, man, I think this is all. It's not about me defending Diddy, but I think definitely just with all of that stuff, how a judge even allowed an inmate from behind bars to. Now, there's nothing stopping someone from filing a lawsuit, but if Diddy wasn't properly served, and I don't know how this man filed this lawsuit from prison. If he had an attorney, he probably did. But how you gonna spend the money? You doing 75 years. He's doing 75 years. Probably give it to his kids if he has any. But yeah, that's ridiculous, man. But I think that I had to come live with you all because I wanted to hear and see what y'all have to say. We got a lot of people who just jumped in. Y'all knew I was going to talk about it. Danielle jumped on and said she knew I was going to go live with this. So the breaking news, family, is that they got Diddy. Yeah. Diddy is cooked. Some people are saying Diddy is done. Do I think Diddy can bounce back from this? No, he couldn't bounce back from that video. Unfortunately, I'm never gonna say nobody can be forgiven and nobody can't make atonement for what they've done. Yes, it's possible, but do you see P Diddy having the success he had? If I had to compare it with what he had in the '90s and 2000s, I doubt it. Nobody's gonna want to touch him. All right, they did with R. Kelly. What they did to R. Kelly, they're now doing to Diddy. It looks like they're gonna have more information tomorrow, fam. What's gonna happen, and probably will come on live. Probably not at that moment, depending on what it is, but later, just to get an update. I honestly think, do I think Diddy gonna go to jail? Yeah, it's a possibility. It depends on how strong the case is. We got 53 people in here. What's going on, my ex family? I wasn't gonna be too long, guys, because it's actually late. It's 11:23. I've had a long day, and I got to get up early in the morning for work again. But yeah, this is the breaking news. P Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, is arrested in Manhattan. According to reports from the New York Times, his lawyer Marc Agnifilio stated that Holmes voluntarily turned himself in. He said Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the black community. The statement said he is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. Hmm. What say you, fam? Do y'all think Diddy can make a comeback? It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Give me a yes or no in the chat. Yeah, I think he's cooked. After that Cassie video, yeah, I doubt if he can make a comeback from that. All right, fam. Look, I'm gonna roll up out of here. I'll probably come live tomorrow. Yeah, did he remember his homes in Miami, Los Angeles? About 3 homes, 2 to 3 homes were raided, and the feds took, uh, you know, hard drives and stuff out. They took things out. They had the boys, the sons, arrested and handcuffed. The sons handcuffed outside the home. Now I can't wait until they're gonna have a surviving Diddy thing on Lifetime with. I'm not lying. It's true. Obviously, didn't 50 Cent say he was gonna do something? No, and they couldn't charge Woody Allen. They couldn't charge the woman that killed Emmett Till. No, even though they had a warrant for her arrest. But fam, I'm gonna get on ahead and wrap it up. But I want y'all to look in the comment. I want to ask you: do you think Diddy's gonna make a comeback? Yes or no? I think I know the answer to that, but I just wanted to see if you all would engage. Jaleel said 50 better keep his mouth shut and sit down. Okay, next. Yeah, every black man, I'll say this, Jaleel, in closing. Eddie Griffin warned us when he was on Vlad TV. Every black man who is in the entertainment industry is going to have their name tarnished. You're going to be accused of something, and everybody going to think, doesn't matter whether it's true or false. Just the idea you're associated with it is enough to get you into trouble and to have you ostracized from the community. What's going on, Sir Miguel? So I'm gonna go ahead, fam. I'm gonna leave on this note. You guys be safe, be one, be blessed, be safe. I'll probably go live tomorrow. But I had to come on with this because this was an emergency, seeing what happened to P. Daddy. So I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. We have 55 people in here, man. Make sure you do me a favor. Smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you love me for my time, pay me for my time, ladies and gentlemen. Drop something in the Cash App. You see it right there, or PayPal below. All right. Good night, fam. We love y'all. Be one, be safe.